we're going to be doing a fuel pump. As you guys know, I have these E46s. All three of these are mine. The wagon broke down, had to have it towed home about a month ago, so I haven't been using it. This is my original E46. I don't use this one very much. I'm just running it a little bit just so the battery's up. But this was my first one. I've owned this 21 years. Just hit 100,000 miles. But the wagon has died. And while I was out, when it broke down, first thing I did was I checked this fuel pump. As you see, I have it popped apart right now. Fuel pump itself basically died, so I pinched off the line and I ordered up a fuel pump. I put that on there temporarily. So it is stuck in there. I do have the ring off, which is this ring here. It comes off, and then you're supposed to grab this, and it pulled up today. I couldn't get it out for the life of me last time. So been sitting here for probably 3 weeks with it off. The pressure probably built up and finally popped loose. But we're gonna get this out. We're gonna get the fuel pump changed. I bought an import direct one. I haven't even opened this yet. But these are about $300. Buy them as an assembly. It's going to save you in the long run, because putting just a fuel pump in it just doesn't work all the time, because you got to transfer the sock, you need the gasket. Oh, Phillip ain't gonna work. Now this had a clamp that I had to cut off, and I checked this while I was broke down waiting for a tow truck. These things are pretty hard. I don't want fuel to be splashing all over the place from the injectors. So this has got a sock in it and a float level. So take note of the and as you see, there's a full tank. This is going to be the orientation of it. No clamp and no gasket like it said it was supposed to have. Man, now I'm gonna have to reuse this gasket, which it's gonna leak. They made it very clear that it was supposed to come with the gasket, because that was one question I asked, is does it come with the gasket and does it come with the clamp? So we know the float level goes this way. Float level goes in first. it's not sitting down far enough. It does have the alignment pins there. That's not working. Always hung up on this side. Well, I'm going to test this pump and get it into the garage. So I'm not standing out here in this heat. I'm going to clamp it for now because there's no clamp in there either. That should stop the line from blowing off. And then let's see if this thing runs. I heard the pump. There we go. It's running really rough. It's not leaking. Let it run for a minute. It's running a little rough. I'm going to transfer some of my tools. so that I can get this into the shade and get that ring on. Trash, because we were out when this thing broke down. Get my pass put on the dash so that I can park out here. And let's go take this thing to the garage. We were actually out running RC when this thing broke down. And I use this thing a lot. This is basically my work truck. And I knew it was failing because every now and then the car just wouldn't start in the morning, and I had to cycle the key a few times. And I actually thought it was a crank sensor because I was getting a crank sensor code. But then when it finally acted up and wouldn't start at all, because every time I went to hook tools up to it, the thing would start. Get to that door, so I'm gonna angle this the other way. Now that it moves on its own power, all my RCs are in the garage. Now we're not in the direct sunlight. We'll go ahead and get that thing popped in there, but I'll be right back when I get it popped in. All right, so went ahead, got a clamp on it, got the ring on. I've got this bar. I've got this bar wedged on the roof so that I don't ruin the headliner, wedged on this plastic container, putting pressure down on it to really seat that. I used some WD-40 to get that ring to start sliding down under pressure. So that's what I'm doing now. I actually had two bars to the roof, one right, one left, to get the ring back on. It's truly a tight seal. Like I said, when I went to pull this thing out, I took the ring off and I could not get it out. So I left it that way for a week with the windows up, and it built up enough pressure to finally work itself loose. So we are going to get this out of here. It's just a jack handle. Now that I've got that tight on there, we're going to get our plug put back on. I've already got it clamped down. Here's our gasket, which you really don't want because this is an access hole into the cabin. You don't want any of those fumes getting inside. And this plate only goes on one way. go. 4 nuts. And I believe these are 10 millimeters because I used an RC tool to actually take these things off. And the seat just, no tools, it just pops up. You can see all the dirt, debris that gets underneath these seats from the kids and everything else that we do. Let me get this gasket pushed back in here. And I'm going to get everything cleaned up, and that should be it. There you go. All back to normal. Make sure it still runs. And there we go. Now we're gonna get it washed up, get it cleaned up, so I can start using my wagon again. But a simple diagnostic, because it was a no start and I didn't hear the fuel pump at all. Went ahead and popped the cover. I gotta tighten those bolts down, forgot about that. I'll pop the seat and tighten that back down. I'll probably put a little silicone around it as well. I don't want the vapors coming inside the cab. But pop the fuel line off while I was out there with just a pocket knife, and I was able to get it diagnosed as a bad fuel pump. So there we go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let you know how to change a fuel pump on an E46. And hopefully I don't get no check engine lights for evap code that gas tank is leaking, since I didn't put a seal in it. It won't check the evap monitor until we're below 1/4 of a tank. So if you never get below 1/4 of a tank, the computer won't check the evap monitor. So I still could have an issue with that seal. I will get a seal ordered up, and we'll get a new seal put in there, because I know from past experience you can't reuse the gasket. It might be tight, it might feel like it'll seal, but it's not going to hold the 5 psi that this gas cap, 3 to 5 psi I think is what this gas cap holds. And if I can't get 3 to 5 psi on this gas cap, then it's going to set an evap code for emissions, and then the check engine light's going to pop on. So there we go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully this helps some people out there on how to change a fuel pump in an E46, whether it's a wagon, a sedan, a convertible. All of the E46 BMWs are the same way. So there we go. I'm gonna get it washed up. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Get out there, do some RC, do some wrenching. Son's out here cleaning up the car, getting all the trash out of it, getting it back to normal so that we can use it. Like I said, this is our pickup truck, our family wagon. We do a lot with it. We basically, bikes, RC, anything you can possibly do with a pickup truck, I tend to do with a wagon. I really wish they would bring more wagons back because I like the platform. Whether it's a Mercedes wagon, an Audi wagon, a BMW wagon. I wish Ford, Chevy, and Dodge would bring back the wagon. I know Dodge did the Magnum there for a while, and that was a cool platform as well. But this straight six has proven to be a really good setup. They run forever. And I have my M3 19-inch wheels on it, which really gives it a good stance. I do have drop springs on it, H&R drop springs. My other two sedans have coilovers on it, but it's a very, very good platform. So this is the only one I haven't changed out the radio system. It still has the business class radio in it, CD. Normally they were tape decks. It does have the M steering wheel on it because I like that steering wheel. These had the Takata bag air recalls, so got those warrantied out. This is actually a new bag. And then these had a recall for the passenger side airbags. The harness was defective, so that warranty got done as well. But for the most part, it's been a very reliable platform. They call it the mechanic's car because if you were to pay for repairs on these things, it with labor and parts cost, it just doesn't make sense. But being a mechanic myself, I just have to buy the parts, which isn't too bad. And my ZHP one is the one that just, as you see, here's the hood, fan clutch let go on that one. Took out the radiator, took out the hood, took out everything. So I got that changed out on my ZHP 2005 E46 sedan. So there you go, guys, all cleaned up. We're gonna get some armor all put on this thing and get to using it.